Every parent struggles to find the right balance of screen time and schoolwork. It is not easy, but here to help your family make the right choices is the president of the Entertainment Software Rating Board, Pat Vance, along with Research Director for Take This, it's Dr. Rachel Kowert. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Pat, what are some simple steps the parents can take to manage the video games that their children play?
Well, there are a few very simple steps. First up, check the ESRB rating information. There are age ratings, content descriptors, and interactive elements. So 3 parts to the system, lots of information the parents can use to make informed decisions. Second, set some household rules and make sure that they're part of an ongoing conversation that's a positive conversation. Don't stigmatize games. You want your child to be able to talk to you about any of the video games that they're playing. Thirdly, make sure that you are familiar with the parental controls that are available on every game device in the home, whether it's a mobile game, a mobile device, or a computer, or a game console. And those controls allow you to do things like control spending, or even restrict the amount of time that your child can play video games. It also can help you manage online communications. If your child is playing with others online, it gives you some tools to manage that. And then, of course, when you're not around, these controls allow you to block a game by its age rating so that your child can't play his friend's mature rated video game without your approval.
I like that help for parents. And Dr. Kowert, kids are spending so much time in front of a screen, especially now that so many are studying and doing their schoolwork online, even going to class online. What's the best way, do you think, for parents to embrace video games rather than stressing about them?
Yeah, I think the first step is what Pat said, and make sure the content is age appropriate. The ESRB has so many great ratings and tips and tricks on their website for making sure that you're picking the right games for your children. And second, I think it's about shifting our perspective away from games as time wasting, frivolous, for children activities, and really towards tools for learning, for stress release, and for social connection, which is so important now in this time of physical distancing. Of course, screens should be one of many things that our kids do. Everything shouldn't involve a screen during the day, but there are a lot of benefits to playing games, like reduced loneliness, that social connection part. Also, generally speaking, we've been studying games for more than 15 years and the effects they have on players physically, socially, and psychologically. And generally speaking, the effects are more positive than negative, and at the very least neutral. So that should give parents a little peace of mind.
My 17-year-old son just probably said hallelujah about that, and knowing that there's some positives to this, I think is huge, because I think as parents we're so worried about monitoring and not always understanding the games our kids play. So I appreciate what you said. And Pat, in this time of social distancing, what do you suggest parents do to make sure that their kids have positive video game experiences, whether they're online or offline?
Well, obviously stay involved, and if you can, play with your child. That's really key. But in addition, there are a couple of key tips that we give parents, including make sure that your child knows that they can block, mute, or report other players if they're playing online. That really makes the experience much more positive. Secondly, make sure that your child, if they're registering for a game or registering for a new piece of hardware in the home, make sure that they're putting in their accurate birth date and their accurate age, because their built-in protection in those devices or on that game, particularly for the under 13-year-olds, when it comes to their personal information or potential exposure to inappropriate content. So basic tips, of course, never leave the game. If you're playing a multiplayer online game and somebody asks you to go to another chat room or another game or another platform, no. Your child needs to stay in the game and play with their friends and play with people that they're comfortable with playing.
Great tips from both of you. Thank you so much for the information. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, and the Entertainment Software Rating Board website is esrb.org.